and you Perfect. Tell that's cheap when it's hot. Oh, that goes into the nice food. It's like down in the damn park, so my scooter's not right. You got a friggin' 10-acre park. Where are they shit? Right on the damn
Copy. Going for an interview. Thanks.
Well, it's different. The tower setup is about twice as long as this. Drink on them, fall off. We have occasional drownings. We had a drowning 4 years ago.
Walking right down that alley where we had some issues yesterday afternoon. They are all taken care of. We are good to go. We've had boats on the water, as you talked about. They were just talking about my virtual interview that I had with Jimmy King yesterday. While you were saying that, I was talking to Jimmy King, and we were kind of having a laugh about it. Apparently, they had a small crack in an exhaust line that they found. It was an easy fix, but as they said, they just needed 2 more minutes.
schedule looks just as much fun with constant action on the river and over the river with the HAPO Over the River Air Show. What are the drivers looking for as they go out this morning?
Well, it's a great thing, as I said already, and that's what they are looking to do.
They will have.
Or an inside run or an outside run, all kinds of different things, but it's all about post up and making sure you got what you want in the boat. So that heat is coming up here and not too very long from right now. By the way, Jimmy Shea is going to get ready. Jimmy Shea was out in the home.
It looks much better, doesn't it?
Oh boy, I mean, he's got his foot out of it now as he comes down to the lower end, probably bring it back, but second time they've run this morning, the boat did handling, boat ride, that's what they were struggling with back east. Man, it looks good on the water.
Has to be happy, but also know that even in lane one,
it's going to be a tough run to kind of reel in the home stream. It sure is. You were mentioning that when he went out the first time, he was out there at the same time with Jimmy Shane, and they went through the upper corner side by side there. And you said, as Brad Luce likes to say, they gave us rainbows and rooster tails. Well, you notice they also gave each other a whole lot of room. They're very polite. And you heard Dave's comment yesterday when he was talking to Glenn Boggin, and he goes, yeah, guys, he says, I've run now a couple of times with Jimmy Shane, and we haven't brought our boats together and collided. You know, that was a problem we had a number of years ago. Not for lack of effort. A lot of people were chuckling about that one. But yeah, I think Dave is most definitely a player here today, a big-time player.
Well, let's talk about Unlimited Heat 3A and 3B coming up. And Kevin Rounds has our heat draw as we get ready for Unlimited action coming up later in our schedule.
Yeah, you remember the old Henry VIII I Am song?
Yeah.
You never know.
It's Dave. Carly coming over here?
What?
Is Carly coming over today with her BF?
Haven't heard.
He's here with his strong racing shirt on. He is fishing off the dock, and Carson, it looks like you just stopped. How come you quit fishing?
Because I can't catch any fish.
Well, that's a good reason, but I also see your bait over there. Looks like you lost your bait.
Yes.
All right, well, good luck. Maybe you can fish your bait back in and go back fishing. Jimmy Shane away from the dock here in the one. Carson Kelly, of course, the son of Mike and Angela Kelly. And Carson Kelly, for those of you that are going to be around for a number of years and coming down here to the race course, you might want to write that name down because this kid can drive. Wow, can he drive. He drives a J-Stock Hydro. He's about to move up to another class, and he's got some guy named J. Michael Kelly kind of coaching him on the side. The kid's good. He's really good.
Brad, has anybody talked about the dreaded three-word sago pondweed? Because as I look out here,
and I think maybe we lost Kevin there for a sec, but he was bringing up the sago pondweed, and I got a hunch what he was going to say is he might be seeing some grass in the water. And I can tell you that when the 11 was lifted out of the water about 4 or 5 minutes ago, there was a ton of whatever it was, whether it was milfoil, whether it was sago pondweed, or just grass.
We need to keep a staff botanist here.
We do. We need to expand our team next year. And just for the record, Carson Kelly has thrown in the towel. There are no fish.
Well, they're out there.
He wasn't getting out very far.
Need one of the local guide services to help you out.
Oh, gosh.
So Jimmy Shane into Tire Factory turn number 2 and up the Griggs Ace Hardware backstretch. Solid run for the home street bank, and a second appearance this morning. Earlier, 155, 157. This kind of, standard run, I guess you would say. Nothing special, but very steady out on the course. Diving into Golf Universe turn number 3, Buffalo Brothers turn number 4, and onto the Payne West Insurance front stretch. Payne West offering national expertise on the local level.
Yeah, I was trying to say, but I guess our equipment did not need cool or whatever, but is that I can see one of the buoys right here that is got one half of it covered by whatever it is. And so it is not quite infiltrated the course, but it is right there on the border of the course. So I'll be interested to see if that becomes problematic, or especially when we get to the final when we're going 6 boats in the front.
So up the back stretch, Jimmy Shane in the home street bank, 160.076 miles per hour. So they were making some adjustments, you thought, Brad, under the cowling on the engine, on the turbine?
Yeah, whatever they were, I think they stepped in the right direction.
Yeah.
That sounded pretty good at $160.
I mean, I'm just curious how many different moving parts there are under there that they can make little adjustments and get, find different combinations.
Yeah, they might have been just changing a fuel control valve. It would have been something very simple.
Right, something quick.
It's not like a gearbox change or a
Sure.
power change, because then when that happens, you see them actually lift the boat out of the water and just kind of hang it over the dock, and we've seen that done. But this was just simply something under the hood, so it was a very simple adjustment, and now Jimmy looks like, as he comes down here, he's much quieter this time, and he is going to head off the race course, I think. No.
Back around to Tire Factory turn 2.
And he's way up against the outside course markers there, Kevin.
160.122 in lap number 2.
Well, he was on the corner, but then immediately jumped down into lane 1. So I think he's trying to, this is a timing run, it looks like.
Well, interesting, because that's a maneuver that we saw Andrew Tate make in one of his heats yesterday when he was just a skosh early, but he was way ahead of everybody, so he went really deep into the lower corner to scruff off a little bit of time, and then as soon as he got toward the exit pin, he dove it right back into lane 1.
So up the back stretch on a timing run, Jimmy Shane in the home street.
Yeah, watch him come off and see if he puts his foot in it.
Where he puts his foot in it.
At the entrance, I can still actually see him.
Yeah, not quite yet.
Click that stopwatch up there. Is he going now?
There you go.
There he goes. Click that stopwatch to see how long it takes him to run down.
Yeah, he's still not really accelerating that much, but now at the apex and into Buffalo Brothers turn number 4, the exit pin onto Payne West Insurance front stretch. He can start. Oh, there's the rainbow, Brad. Falling down right at the exit pin. That was awesome.
I missed it. I can't see it.
I'll try to get you a photo.
I hear him.
Yeah.
Oh, there he pulled his foot.
It's all about the timing.
It is, and again, for our new fans, we start on a clock start, and the idea is to put your boat at the start-finish line at full song in a strategic lane in clean water right when that clock strikes 0. Sometimes the race can be won right at that point, or it can be lost. Jump the clock, as we saw yesterday a couple of times, and you get to run an extra lap, and guess what? That means you don't win.
Special thanks on our broadcast to Bunch Finnegan and Bosch Appliances. Bosch Refrigeration in stock at Bunch Finnegan. Bosch has been at Bunch longer than any other location in the Tri-Cities. Get Bosch at Bunch Finnegan, 9 East Columbia Drive in Kennewick. Go to bunch.com. Also, Tire Factory with Michelin, BF Goodrich, Bridgestone, and all the great tires. Ag tires as well. Yeah, for your struts, shocks, alignment, great service for AC repair and recharge. Keep you cool all summer long. Tire Factory, 2 locations in Pasco, Dupertale and Richland, Wheeler and Moses Lake now, and at TireFactoryTC.com. Also thanks to Golf Universe on Clearwater and Kennewick, where golfers shop and save. New clubs always arriving, or re-grip your old sticks. They have golf lessons, driving range so you can try the clubs before you buy them, and too many golf courses for family fun. It's all at Golf Universe on Clearwater. Our pit reporters, thanks to American Radiator. Their specialists can repair, recore, or replace your radiator with free pickup and delivery throughout much of the Northwest available. Don't risk an engine meltdown. Repair with the professionals at AmericanRadiator.com. Our weather forecast, stay hydrated. Light winds today, 102 the expected high. Weather updates thanks to Anderson and Zentz Dental in South Kennewick. They create, maintain, and save smiles every day. Professional periodontal treatments and great options for crowns, CEREC same-day service, implants, and more. Get the details, KennewickSmiles.com, Anderson and Zentz Dental. Also thanks to JMC Motorsports, your local Honda dealer. They want to remind you to be safe this boat race weekend. Use sunscreen, plenty of water. If you're enjoying libations, have a designated driver. JMC Motorsports, just across the Cable Bridge in Pasco, or jmc-motorsports.com with full e-commerce available. And WP Suspension experts can help you get the best ride for your Honda and all motorcycles at JMC Motorsports in Pasco. We'll take a time out. More of our coverage coming up. HAPO Columbia Cup News Radio 610 KONA and 610KONA.com.
want me to film people working until time?
But
It's one of the worst interviews in the NFL.
but you never know what you're going to get.
That's true. That's true. So out on the course for testing, and there's about 25 minutes of testing left before they change up, and we'll actually go to, looks like we'll have some E350s with a heat of race coming up for the E350s, which have put on a great show so far. The one with Jimmy Shane, the home street, fastest lap out here this morning, 160.122. Dave Billwalk in the 40 Beacon Plumbing, 159.280. Then you have the 12 Tate in the Graham Trucking, 154.796. The 8, that would be J. Michael Kelly in the Miss Tri-Cities, 152.746. The 11 J&Ds, Jamie Nielsen, 152.503. And the 3, Jimmy King in the Griggs Ace Hardware, 145.723 miles per hour. So that's what we've seen so far today.
Yeah, you start talking about speeds like that, and yes, they're just testing here on race day, and who knows what they're trying to do when they're out there. So they don't really mean a whole lot, but those are impressive numbers that you throw out there.
It is. You know, if you think about it, Brad, it's just kind of like us waking up, making sure that we're okay. Same with the boats. They put them to bed last night. They want to make sure they wake up.
You know, as strange as it sounds, that's very, very true. That's what it is. And sometimes the gremlins can jump on and off your boat. And when I interviewed Mr. Billwalk down in Guntersville after they ran one heat, the final, and they ran it as a trailer boat and ended on the podium, and I made some comment, and Dave acknowledged and expanded on it that, you know, these gremlins that have been on their boat in Guntersville, somewhere along the highway to Madison, they can just jump off, and you get to a different venue, the same boat, everything's identical, and you put it in the water, and suddenly it responds and wants to run. So you never know. That's the magic of motorsports.
Yeah, well, think about it. You know, every morning when you get ready for work, and well, not you, Brad, but when you get ready for work and you head out the door, your car doesn't always start. You know, there's that one morning where it doesn't respond.
No, it just decides somewhere overnight. No, not today. It's not happening.
So, Tire Factory turn number 2 in our Freedom Equipment Rental lift. It's Kevin Rounds, and we watch that Pasco shoreline start to fill in again. It's just amazing with the lack of the private areas over there. All of the tents, all the different sizes and shapes and colors over there. It's pretty amazing. Kevin's done a nice job of kind of keeping us informed about what's happening over at Road 39, the entrance to Wade Park. It's been kind of fun to watch.
I want to be the guy that has the concession for those pop-up tents.
Well, you can get them at Griggs. I know that.
There you go.
And a special thanks to our friends at Griggs with 4 locations to serve you, and they've got everything that you need for summer fun. Griggs Ace Hardware and Griggs Department Store in Pasco. Over 80 years serving the Tri-Cities. And Legends Casino, where you can stay and play, enjoy incredible amenities, great views of Mount Adams, everyday payday, and you can look up their daily specials and promotions at legendscasino.com. Come see what everybody's talking about, Legends Casino Hotel in Toppenish. We'll be coming back with some E350 racing this morning. That'll be up first out on the Columbia River course, thanks to Local 598, Plumbers and Steam Fitters, Signatory Contractors, and IBEW, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 112. Community-minded, community-involved. They work on projects like Bikes for Tykes, and they're hosting a special viewing area for Gold Star families here at Columbia Park during the HAPO Columbia Cup. Also thanks to ESCO Electric of the Tri-Cities, your local electrical specialist, serving the region since 1972, specializing in your Generac whole home backup generators. Give them a call at 547-5504 or log on to letsgowithesco.com. Traffic watch during the races on 610 KONA, brought to you by Bob's Burgers and Brew, Tri-City's favorite anytime restaurant. Before the races, after the races, get refueled at Bob's Burgers and Brew. Bob's, only the best. Go to bobsburgersandbrew.com. When we are complete here and we've crowned a champion for the HAPO Columbia Cup, we'll go back to the studios for the wrap-up show, the Rooster Tail wrap-up, brought to you by our good friend Jason Hogue at American Family Insurance. And they achieved the highest customer satisfaction score among mid-size insurers in the 2021 J.D. Power Insurance Shopping Satisfaction Study. Why settle for number 2? Contact Jason Hogue with AmFam today at jasonhogue.com. Also, thanks to Atomic Screen Print and Embroidery, they have 2 locations here, Columbia Park, adjacent to the driving range of the golf course and near the pit entrance, and over on the Pasco shoreline as well with official waterfallies, H1 Unlimited, and vintage shirts, hats, and more, again, on both sides of the river. Onshore transportation, thanks to Canyon Lakes Golf Course. Why play the rest when you can play the best? E350 racing is coming up. The course remains open for H1 Unlimited testing, but nobody's ready to push away from the dock. We'll be back with more coverage of the HAPO Columbia Cup next on News Radio 610 KONA and 610KONA.com.
Summer heat.
Broadcast team.
News Radio 610 KONA and 610KONA.com. We're at the Brunson's Memorial Barge at the JMC Motorsports start-finish line. Kevin Rounce at Tire Factory turn number 2. And Kevin, we were working on a little issue over there with your transmitter. Everything all right?
I hope so. We'll find out throughout the day, I suppose.
Yeah. And look at all the people coming in on that Pasco shoreline.
It really is. It's a lot of people that are coming in, and we're going to have a good time this weekend, this Sunday. Looking back, parking lot's full behind me. We've even got some RVs that have taken advantage of this, and I know that if you go across the road right in front of the course.
Yep. It's incredible to see, and this will be the only opportunity, moving forward. Those private areas will be back, and, your opportunity's limited. And if you want to come down and experience waterfall, is completely different than it has been in years past and won't be the same again for quite some time. This is definitely the Sunday to do it, and we have some good racing on tap for you. Let's head down to the Neil F. Lamson pits, our American Radiator pit crew on 610 KONA, Glenn Vaughan. And I know you've been kind of following it. You actually sent a photo to me, Glenn. Problem with some vegetation in the water around the dock area that they're working on.
What was that, Michael? Come again?
You were sending a photo down here, Glenn, with the vegetation that's in the water around the dock.
Yeah, sorry. I was actually talking to some of the pit people down here. They're hooking up a chain link fence. I'd say, like an 8x8 section of fence. And it sounds like they're going to rake, for a lack of better terms, down here by the docks. They can give a specific area, but Brad and I have been noticing that it's been kind of green down here. Not necessarily the water, but the stuff growing up from the riverbed. So I think they're going to be proactive and try to get anything out of the way before it becomes a problem as the day wears on.
So, Glenn, the chain link fence, they drag it? They try to corral the vegetation and pull it out?
They're still tying some wire to it and some rope to it, and they're going to have it on one of the rescue boats here in just a second. At this point, it looks like they're going to drag it, almost the way you would drag like a plow or something like that. But that's nothing more than an uneducated guess at this point. Once I see something, I'll let you know.
Yeah, well, the photo, says so much, because that's quite a bit of vegetation there by the dock.
Yeah, and that was up more by the broadcast hour where Brad and I called home for the weekend. I'm actually down here by the H1 Unlimiteds, and so it's something that's kind of stretching the entirety of the pit area. So
then this is kind of fascinating. As the boats come off, the H1 Unlimited boats come off, they actually do some telemetry, and they take a look at the fuel flow and the shaft speed and that sort of thing, right? The technical violations. There's an H1 Unlimited truck there, Glenn, that's almost all the way down to the end towards Bernie Little Tree.
Yeah.
And
that's a little tree?
The Bernie Little Tree.
Oh, okay.
It's a large tree.
Okay.
But if you notice, and I found this because they're trying to keep the sport clean, right? That's what that's all about with the tech inspection. They also have hand sanitizer right on the outside of the truck.
Oh, wow.
There's a dispenser that's actually mounted onto the truck.
Wow.
Did you notice that?
I did not notice that.
Well, I did in my early morning.
Oh, okay.
Walk through the pits.
No, I wash my hands, so the hand sanitizer is not usually on my to-do list.
Yeah, well, H1 truly keeping the sport clean.
Well, is that why everybody's staying at least 6 feet away from me?
Could be.
No, that is not why.
Quiet, Kevin.
Interesting.
Hey, the one boat, well, the two boats we didn't see come out in that testing session were the 9 and the 440. Do we have anything on them? Are they just content with how things were? Or do they?
Well, I had a chance to talk to the radio man for the 440, right? And they were talking about the 440 and why they shut down in yesterday's final heat.
Yes.
Well, it was just a fuse. So testing is now closed. No more testing, and we will get to the 5 liters, the E350s, next up on the race course. And that's something we definitely look forward to.
So, guys, just to paint more of a picture in your mind as they're down here at the Unlimited docks, this is more like a dredging operation where they've got that chain link. I think it's actually hitting the rocks on the bottom, and it's churning up some unpleasant-looking stuff, but I think it's getting the bulk in that chain link fence.
You know what? Necessity is the mother of invention. Is that what they say?
I think so.
Yeah, so I think what we've discovered is that we have a lot of intelligent and creative people that are all hanging out by the docks over there, and they're going to make sure that this gets taken care of one way or another.
So we understand we do have a green flag that remains on the course, but there are no H1 Unlimiteds that will be coming out from the pits for testing, and that will wrap up testing in about 15 minutes or so as we get ready for E350s. And that brought us some excitement yesterday, Kevin Rounds.
Boy, we had just between Kurt Myers, Smith, we had some excellent back and forth, and it was some of the best racing we saw on the course. That's for sure.
Derek Smith did a nice job in the 79. It was fun watching it. And John Rifle had an opportunity to get some mega points too.
He did, and and we had the situation where the two boats jumped the start. John Rifle was leading on there, and but Derek Smith and Kurt Meyer was able to get back around and
lap him,
and which put them back in the position to take those points, take that top 2 spots, and so that was huge for those two guys as they battle for the weekend title and for the season-long title.
You know, guys, speaking of John Rifle, they've moved his boat over to the water. It's probably about 5 feet above the water right now, so it looks like he's getting ready.
That's the 226 fully loaded racing with John
here
Rifle.
comes Kurt Meyer's 1.
So we'll see out there. Kurt Meyer's in the yellow. John Rifle will be out there in the white. Derek Smith will be in the orange. We'll see who else gets out there. We're hoping to see the Cheetah, which is also kind of white with some darker colors along the sponsons. The Raining Thunder, which is also another yellow boat. The Flood Guys with Steve Huff, last time's winner. He's also out there in the yellow boat. And we'll see who gets out and who can get going.
Scheduled for a 9:15 start on our current schedule. We have not seen any revisions yet. We will take a timeout here in just a minute. More of our coverage coming up with the HAPO Columbia Cup on News Radio 610 KONA and 610KONA.com. Thanks to our friends at Brunsman's Office Solutions, the leader in innovative office design. Brunsman's takes your vision and creates the space that works for you. Visit the showroom in Richland. Shop online at brunsmans.com. Also thanks to All Doors Incorporated. Spring sprung on your garage. Call the pros at All Doors Incorporated, 547-2158. If it goes up or down, opens or closes, they can fix it right the first time, and free estimates too with All Doors Incorporated. And Freedom Equipment Rentals, truly locally owned and operated in Pasco. They know the work doesn't stop at 5, and they have the equipment to help you keep the job going. Freedom Equipment Rentals. Let them give you the freedom to get the job done. FreedomEquipmentRentals.com. Special thanks to Vivian and everybody at Honey Baked Ham. And they have turkey, too. It's fantastic. In Kennewick, they feature a great selection of ham and turkey sandwiches, salad, soups, deli sides, and so much more at the cafe right off of Columbia Center Boulevard at the Planet Fitness Shopping Center in Kennewick. It's Honey Baked Ham. And American Transmission, the heat is what destroys your transmission. Stop in and get your transmission checked before you go on vacation and save you heartache on the road. American Transmission on Jericho Road in Richland. More of our HAPO Columbia Cup coverage coming up on News Radio 610 KONA and 610KONA.com.
McDonald and the 56th HAPO Columbia Cup. Brought to you by Farmers Exchange.
News Radio 610 KONA, 610KONA.com. Good morning, fans along the Columbia River shore here at Columbia Park. Glad you're along for the ride of the 2021 HAPO Columbia Cup. Special thanks to our friends at Payne West Insurance. Multiple lines. They do great work with national expertise on a local level every day. Payne West Insurance. Tate Meyer joins us, and he's working with H1 Unlimiteds. Went to Richland High School, and now working with a whole lot of bring the best in coverage to H1Unlimited.com.
Yeah, my brother and I, Jared, have been coming to this race since we were able to be put in a stroller from our parents and able to film the races every year, and just fell in love with the sport coming here every year and putting up on our own YouTube channel, and then becoming involved with H1 Unlimited and trying to grow the sport as much as we can, try to get it on a more accessible platform. We stream all our races to YouTube, easy to find, and got to thank Walt Ottenad for bringing us in 2016, offering us a free pit pass. So to Jared and I, that was all we needed to get in and film some more stuff for H1 and for the sport in general.
So this all started with what, a handy cam? I mean, what was the first device that you used in those old videos that you can still Google and find on YouTube?
The first camera we had was a Sony Handycam. It was tape all the way back in 2002. I think our family started filming the races, and actually it started before that. My dad's dad brought an 80mm camera. Was filming races back in the early 80s. Real film, yeah. And we're transferring some of those now, which is really cool to see. But the tape lasted up until about 2011. Being middle school, high school kids, we couldn't really upgrade yet. So 2012, we got a digital camera, started our YouTube, Meyer Hydro's YouTube channel, and filmed all the races here, made sure people could see all the heats and see every boat coming out. My arm got tired in testing and qualifying sessions holding that camera and filming every boat that went out. But we had a lot of fun, and we still have a lot of fun doing it. You know,
it's kind of funny. Last year, when we didn't have racing because of COVID, I went back and went to your YouTube page and started pulling up some heats just because I missed it. And they're all right there.
Yeah, that's what we wanted to bring. Selfishly, Jared and I wanted to bring to ourselves. We wanted to be able to go back and watch the heats later and watch all these testing sessions that up to a certain point were only stories from people. Oh, Budweiser ran a 170 lap here, and my brother and I go, okay, where's the video? Like, I want to see the video. So we've gotten a lot of donations as well through the years of DJ and Quentin Miller, two of the E-League drivers. Their dad, professional bowler Hugh Miller.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was doing what we did, filming every qualifying and testing session, every boat coming out there in Seattle and Tri-Cities. So he had the 170-mile-an-hour record lap that we uploaded earlier this week before the Columbia Cup. So we're trying to build a more robust H1 archive, unlimited archive in general, not just the H1 organization, but all the way back to the 50s, and trying to work with the museum and make it more readily available, just like, typing up, hey, I want to watch the 1966 Gold Cup, and typing it in, and there it is.
So we're talking with Tate Meyer with H1 Unlimited, and tell me where people can go find this. And I know there's a great app that you can put on your phone, too, with different links where you can find the videos and a lot more information about the sport.
Yeah, Walt Ottenad, who brought us into the sport back in 2016, he was watching our race edits that we made of the Gold Cup year in 2015 here. He has worked so hard to build a H1 Unlimited app you can find on Google Play and the App Store. Download it. It has all the links, all the schedules, has points from Jim Sharkey's archive all the way back to 1904. Wow. The huge spreadsheet that kind of gives me a headache to look at. But all the video links to every session, every qualifying, every heat is embedded in that app. And every time we find new videos on the internet, they're always putting links in the app to get a bigger, better archive for our fans, and try to get new fans. And whenever a boat is out, it's kind of our slogan, whenever an Unlimited is out on the race course, you're going to find it on the H1 Unlimited YouTube channel.
So not only Tate and Jared Meyer working on this effort here, you have a whole staff now that's kind of helping put these videos together, and you're deploying drones over the corners. A lot of fans have noticed that the helicopters are not here anymore, and that's changed the sport dramatically.
Dramatically, yes. Lisa Cornier, our H1 Unlimited flight director, she's worked so hard to implement this drone program, and Brian Montgomery, the other drone pilot, has been flying around all weekend and flies around at every race. Brian Montgomery, son of legendary Steve Montgomery, play-by-play commentator, who's one of the best. And
speaking of which, there's Mark and Nancy Allen right down here.
There they are.
Yep.
There they
Morning.
are. Yeah, getting those drones up there and having a real-time feed, first of all, to the referees. This started as an officiating vehicle. First of all, to the referees so they can record and play back instantly any calls that may be under review in a corner for bearing in or bearing out. Those can be instantly rewound and watched back, which is something that we were lacking in the future, or lacking in the past, excuse me. We had a GoPro or a camera we brought up in the helicopter.
Right.
If we needed to review video, it needed to land first and then go off of the video. So this is instantaneous with our drone fleet flying over every heat. And then the benefit of having a live drone feed is we get to use it for the stream, and it really enhances the viewing experience, because once those rooster tails go by, it's a white wall of water until they come out of the turn.
You can't see through them.
Right.
It's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah, yeah. And we were fortunate enough to give a drone feed to the Works 96.7 guys in Madison. They really enjoyed it, and they could see above the turn, especially turn one of the final in Madison. And Phil Walk slid out a little bit, and they could explain it perfectly to the fans on the radio, and as well as Jeff Baylor, our second or 1A or whatever you want to call it, play-by-play guy, along with Brad Luce, who we've become better friends with because he lives in the Tri-Cities now, so we're able to utilize that great voice.
And his knowledge.
Oh, yeah.
Superior knowledge.
Superior knowledge, yes. And the other thing that he was bringing up was his ability to record old URC radio broadcasts from the Jim Hendrick Radio Network. And his little transistor radio that he used to record next to a recorder. And the amount of people that have some of those that we're trying to track down and trying to consolidate is growing. We talk to more people every day.
It's kind of interesting because this is, obviously it's a lot different than what they're doing at the Hydroplane and Raceboat Museum, but it's keeping the sport alive, right, and the past alive by chronicling it and keeping it all in one location where you can access it.
Right, and some of our, the Hydroplane and Raceboat Museum does an awesome job keeping these boats on the water and bringing the noise back to the shoreline, bringing some of the progression of unlimited hydroplanes technology-wise throughout the years. I was explaining to a couple people who are new to hydroplane racing, who were here this weekend. Okay, we went from round nose conventional to pickle fork to pab over to turbine power, and now we are here with enclosed cockpits. So they do a great job keeping those boats out on the water and keeping that visual history, and we're trying to work with David Williams and Don Mock because they have lots of raw video from the ESPN days, the Diamond P sports production days, all the way back to the 80s that is needs to be converted. So we're starting that process now, and hopefully down the road it's going to be a long process because it's all still in its original format. So tracking down the converters and stuff like that and building that archive is one of our long-term goals.
So what's next for Tate and Jared Meyer as NH1 as we continue to provide better coverage for those that are streaming?
Something we're trying this weekend is we have a representative from a company called LiveView who works with a lot of news broadcast stations streaming live sporting events. So what we're trying to do this weekend, and what you might have seen here in this test session for those of you watching online on h1unlimited.com and the YouTube channel, is my brother Jared was out at the exit of Turn 2 or Turn 4, Buffalo Brothers Turn 4. And that feed was being brought in live to the live stream. Now, albeit with a little bit delay, and we tried to match up the delay as best we can, but we're trying to get a different camera feed that you usually only see in post-production. For instance, in the Madison Race Rewind, he was on the Kentucky side, on the other side of the bridge, entering the upriver corner. So we weren't able to get that feed in until he was able to drive back, and we can edit the video later. So getting this second shore camera is going to I think, be our next step and really enhance that coverage and make it an all-around better boat racing broadcast.
Well, keep up the good work.
Thank you. I
Look
appreciate
forward to see what else happens. Out of all of the memories you've had along the Columbia Park River shore of the HAPO Columbia Cup and racing here, what stands out? You know, couple big memories.
My favorite time is the Sunday morning test session. Jared and I are really big hydroplane fans, as all these people are, but if we're sitting wanting to relax one day, we'll turn on a Sunday morning test session. And I think just that time, those rainbows from rooster tails, like you talked about, the sound of the boats going around and around the course. We were upriver at the exit of Turn 4 for many, many years before we were brought into the sport. So we just play those videos on a loop, and the sound of turbine engines. I didn't grow up with piston engines, so I can't relate. So my favorite's kind of the turbines. But I really I enjoy the pistons as well. But that's just the sound and the calmness of Sunday morning is really what I look forward to every year. And yeah.
And it's very similar if you've been out here for the spring training and testing. Even though it's not during the morning, most of the time it's midday and they're out running. It's just so quiet. And there's a sound that when it's quiet in the park and you can hear the turbine, and that's all you hear. And the water landing that comes off the rooster tail and lands back down on the river, you can hear that.
Yeah, you can hear that, and it just adds so much to that kind of whole body experience. I can close my eyes and place myself on the shoreline, feel the sun increase the temperature as it goes up, and get that beautiful backlit rooster tail as they enter Turn 1 and with a blue bridge in the background. So it's
awesome.
Something I look forward to every year, and I keep enjoying it.
H1Unlimited.com. That's a good gateway to find more information about what's available as far as the streaming options and the archives available. Download the H1 Unlimited app. You can find that at your, the Apple Store and Google Play. And then your own YouTube channel where the library is of our local races.
Meyer Hydros is the YouTube channel name, and we have a couple of our, one-camera personal videos dating back to 2002 up there, but it only goes up to 2015, 2016. So from here on out, we're going to post everything to the H1 Unlimited YouTube channel, and but that archive is still up there. We watch it often, so about 2002 to 2015.
Well, for you, those are family movies. That's what they are.
Exactly.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
Thanks so much for sharing with us, Jared.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Tate, and say hi to Jared.
I will.
All right. And again, H1Unlimited.com, the website. Let's head down to the Neil F. Lampson pits or across river to Kevin and Tire Factory Turn number 2 as we get ready for the E350s to be coming out for some racing pretty soon. And we also need to take another break. 610 KONA, Kennewick, Richland, Pasco. What do we have going on in the pits, gang?
We've got a lot. Go ahead, Glenn.
Okay, I was just going to say Kurt Meyer's is down in the water, and I'm assuming Rifle's in the water as well.
He is.
And I'm kind of behind everything, so I can't see who else is out there. So
you're going to have, I think, everybody.
Wow.
You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I don't know who I'd be missing. Now let me look at my little sheet here.
So is Rochelle Hill going to...
No, Rochelle's not here.
Oh, okay. I was on
yes,
the list.
You've got everybody then. You've got and I want to make a comment here. Kevin on the other side and you, Michael, up there. The E78 with Derek Smith. That is the...